I'm sitting here debating whether to go into the gym or not, musing about life. I have a day off today. Just drove by my burnt down house in our block. Looks pretty damn devastating. But I want to rebuild, I think, It's a beautiful area. Beautiful area. But there's nothing left. Amazing how that happens. And to so many people who lived in ravaged areas in America, ravaged by floods and hurricanes and tornadoes and what have you. You all know what I'm talking about. Tough to lose your home. It's very disorienting, You just don't know anymore where the hell you belong. Move from one hotel to the other, trying to find a place. Interesting. Yep. Reminds me of the very early days. I came here with nothing. Yep. Amazing what we can get used to. But one thing I got to tell you, I'm not used to what we are seeing politically. I've been here in this country since 1959. Seen a lot of things. McCarthy era, Vietnam, civil rights, student uprisings, seen it all. But never anything this dangerous to our very foundation, our very constitutional foundation, our separation of powers. Never seen a wealthy South African character come in and play the de facto president. Not de jure, but he's a de facto president, really. Guy does what he wants. And we're letting it happen. Most of us are just so stunned by the brazenness of it all that we do nothing. You and I know that's going to change. We are going to do something. Because we cannot let this country go to pots because of really some psychologically very disturbed characters. One is a felon, a bona fide felon, who has accomplished nothing in his life. He was broke 7 times, bankrupt 7 times, saved most likely by Russian money. And now he's saved by billionaires. Why? Because he promised them he would give them huge tax cuts for the billionaires. Think of how sick that is, man. Whereas the vast majority of Americans are fighting to stay afloat. These guys want to undo Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all the social programs, early breakfast for poor kids, goes on and on. And they're dismantling, the United States aid to foreign countries. Why do you think we do that? Not purely out of altruism. We do that because it's good for America's image. Because if we pull out, who the hell do you think is going to pull in? The Chinese. The Russians are too broke to do it, but the Chinese won't. Is that what we want? Is that in our interest? No, it's not. And the money we give in foreign aid is a pittance compared with our, $6 trillion GDP, I think. We're not very smart right now. And we are being misled by networks that simplify complex problems. Because people really don't want to think that much. They want to say, yeah, we're going to do this and that. And hell yeah, I'm going to turn Gaza into a luxury place, full of condos and the Riviera, the Gaza Riviera. That guy's so full of shit, it's unbelievable. It's so insulting to the people who live there, And yet he wants to pull out of NATO or destroy NATO. And of course he wants to give Ukraine to the Russians. Why? Because Putin helped him. Putin helped him, Russian money helped him when he was broke. No financial institution in New York would lend him money. Guys, you got to know all that. You got to remember that. Who came along to help him? The Russians did. How did they do it? Via Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank had done deals with the Soviet Union before 1989, before 1990, before the Soviet Union fell apart. So they knew all the Russian players. And once a lot of those fellow Russian secret police guys became billionaires, they said, where do we park our money? Well, Deutsche Bank came along and said, we can help you here in New York. And they did. The money's flowed to Trump Towers, into the New York real estate market, into the Florida real estate market, etc. Guys, Mueller, in his Mueller report, was alluding to that. And of course that was, redacted in the report. Any allusions to that were redacted by Bill Barr. Another wonderful guy. Really a real American. That's right. I tell you. A bunch of out-and-out crooks. And now they want to dismiss all the civil servants in this country who run our country, who have spent years in college to learn their business, whether it be in foreign policy, whether it be in Treasury, whether it be in the IRS, etc., FBI, etc. These are hard-working civil servants who have worked for us. Do we have excesses in the bureaucracy? Sure, who doesn't? But that's what Congress is there for. You don't just all of a sudden have some foreigner, a South African, who was first a Canadian, then he became an American, come in because he made a lot of money, government money, by the way. Let's not forget that. Government money. We, our tax dollars, made that man a billionaire. Okay? Tesla was supported by it. His SpaceX program is for... Who the fuck needs to go to Mars? It's a bunch of bullshit. Meanwhile, this guy enriches himself by billions of dollars. We've got to wake up to the bullshit and the grift. Enough for today. I'm going to work out a little bit, hit the heavy bag, and have some people in mind. Bye.